Our wonderful human God imaginations are amazingly vast and are beautifully intricate. The God imagination is so magnificently advanced that there is no negation in what we, students of Neville Goddard, would discern as physical happenings in this the 3D shadow world, versus what we know to be the events of the real world of imagination we call God. The memory banks of our God imaginations denote everything as an is or a has been, meaning an event that you experience in your God imagination has already occurred in the realm of where all creation has its genesis and is therefore a God memory. This is what makes our human God imaginations tantamount to what most theists consider a God separate from themselves. Thankfully, we know better. I personally go to the real world of God imagination so much I get lost and sometimes confused as to what has happened or not happened in my 3D shadow world experience. I've merged my imaginative divinity to my 3D physical identity so much so, it's hard for me to decipher what is a shadow world memory and what's not. This is a good thing. Trust me. I've become so blended between worlds, I can't tell the difference sometimes. Now, this being blended between worlds is where we should all be in our revisionist God memory. You need to literally get so lost you can't tell the difference. The memories of my God imagination many times trump the 3D world manifestations they actually created. My revisionist God memories are far more vivid than my 3D world memories. For instance, the God memory of meeting Janet Jackson that I experienced in the wonderful real world of imagination more than 30 years ago, that actually forged the two 3D occurrences of meeting her twice here in the shadow world, is more vividly seared in my memory than the two meetings which I have photos of. The revisionist God memory is more powerful than the two 3D copies it created and delivered to me in the shadow world. Okay, all that said, you should be making all desires created in the real world of imagination your God memories. These imaginal happenings shouldn't feel any different from your usual memories. You should recall them as done and reminisce on them as you travel down the wonderful memory lane of all your creations. Smile and remember how these wonderful events made you feel. You should also feel a sense of satisfaction. Right now, right this moment, open your photo album of creations and look back at all of the great times you had and experienced. Turn the page of the photo album and remember all of those good times. The new car, the new job, the new love in your life, or maybe the new baby that has been born. Example: I've been looking for a brand new home to buy. I've been searching homes I like online using Google Earth to see them virtually. Through the eyes of my MacBook, I can walk down the block of the very neighborhood and have a panoramic view of where I could wind up living in the near future. Sometimes on Google Earth, I virtually walk through the entire subdivision and look at several homes. Today, I decided to physically drive by one new home I've had my eye on for weeks. Turning from the main road into this beautiful subdivision, I experienced déjà vu. I'd gone there so many times virtually that it genuinely felt like I'd been there before. It was identically like a 3D shadow world memory. I must admit it felt weird and little strange at first, until I caught myself pondering that the virtual view of Google Earth was just like the wonderful real world of imagination, in that I'd been in this place before, and I knew exactly where my new home was. I didn't need directions because I'd remembered exactly where it was in the subdivision. I also felt just like I was coming home. It felt really nice. You must imagine big, and most importantly, remember even bigger. You'll know you're on the right track once your real world and shadow world memories begin to collide. I mean, the idea is not to be able to tell them apart. You need to remember in such a way that when the 3D shadow world delivers your creation, you're not incredibly excited about it because you recall it already happening. Imagine knowing, before you walk into a dark room, you're about to experience your secret surprise birthday party. As you walk in, you already know everyone is going to jump out, yell surprise, and throw confetti on you. You're not necessarily ungrateful at all, but you just knew what to expect, because you've experienced it already. You graciously accept the gesture of the party, and definitely accept all your wonderful gifts. However, you already remembered this experience, so you're not surprised, but were simply expecting it to happen. The idea here is to be as casual as you would be about any other fond memory. There should be absolutely no urgency whatsoever. You don't have to be overly thankful or grateful about what already belongs to you. Be easy and simply reminisce and recall all the creations you've made, and most importantly, remember to take full possession of them all. I want to thank everyone for taking the time to listen to this message. I hope you gleaned something great from it. Hopefully this video opened a door for you. My goal is to continue Neville's message and teaching about the law of assumption in a practical way that leads us to our wonderful end. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And also, please click the thumbs up button to let the algorithm know you like this content. Thanks again for listening, and until we meet again, bye everybody.